Welcome everybody. Today I'm talking about potential openings for Austria. Austria is the red country on the board. Formerly it's called Austria-Hungary, and it starts with 3 units. An army in Vienna, an army in Budapest, and a fleet in Trieste. Austria is considered and also factually one of the weaker countries on the board when you start. So if you have drawn Austria or you got assigned Austria, good luck. It has neighbors in Russia, Turkey, Italy, and Germany. And of those four neighbors, your only real friend usually is Germany. Germany, being also a central country, has zero motivation to come towards Austria, and hence it will probably be your friend. When I play Austria myself, I always contact Germany first, keep an open line, keep each other posted, especially on what Russia is doing, but also Italy as a common neighbor in Tyrolia. Now, your other neighbors, Russia, has other options for expansions than Austria, but is very interested in the Balkans with a lot of supply centers, and will be interested in taking Romania in 1901. Turkey. Turkey is either expanding via the Mediterranean or expanding, well, straight through your lands. So Turkey is a key enemy of Austria, usually in games. Not always. There's also Turkish-Austrian alliances. And then you have Italy. Italy is one of the countries that does not really belong to a triangle. So you have the southern triangle with Austria, Russia, and Turkey, and the northern triangle. Italy is sitting a bit in between, but obviously a key neighbor, especially to Austria, as both Trieste and Venice are actually bordering. So you immediately have grounds for conflict to look at it negatively. Now let's say worst case and you don't trust anybody, um, you could play the hedgehog opening. I've not drawn moves of all the countries in here, but I could. I guess Russia could open southern and Turkey, something like this. The key of the hedgehog opening is that you don't trust anybody, so you put your spikes out. So what you're doing is you're moving to Galicia, you're moving to Venice, and you're moving to Romania. Now, although this sounds safe in principle, I don't think it's the best opening for Austria. I think if you play Austria and you have your four neighbors, you need to make up your mind early about who you can trust. Maybe you cannot trust that person forever, but you need some security. And although Austria is a weak country, that also makes it sort of nice for people to cooperate it with because they don't see it as a threat immediately. So if you're a reasonable diplomat, at least not a very bad one, you will have friends among Russia, Turkey, and Italy. Probably not all of them, but at least some of them. So playing Austria in, let's say, a gunboat game where you do not communicate is very hard, but playing Austria in the true form of diplomacy where you have to negotiate is definitely possible. However, if you don't trust anybody or you're just feeling unsafe, play the hedgehog opening. You're probably gonna get one build in 1901, but probably not two. And I think that's why I don't like the hedgehog opening, because I'm convinced that Austria should aim at getting two builds in 1901. And to get two builds in 1901, you are basically bound to play Fleet Trieste to Albania. So I would say 6 or 7 out of 10 times that I personally play Austria, I play Fleet Trieste to Albania. And that's basically to seize Greece in the fall. Now you have a strong case if you also move Army Budapest to Serbia, because then you can make a supported move onto Greece. So a potential Turkish army in Bulgaria will not influence your move there. However, if you dedicate Budapest and Trieste to capturing Serbia and Greece, you only have the army in Vienna to defend yourself. And you need to defend yourself both against Russia in Galicia and against the Venetian army here from Italy. So, well, that basically comes down to what I just said. You need to trust one of those two guys. You can potentially negotiate together with Germany that Russia can have Sweden if the Russians stay out of Galicia in spring 1901. You can also decide to trust Italy as a central power. So there's quite some examples of central power alliances. So Germany, Italy, Austria working together. Um, to be honest, that's just an expansion of the Austria-German alliance, because they usually work together anyway. So it's just kind of grabbing Italy and getting him on board on that alliance. So this is one of my more favorite openings. You either move Army Vienna to Galicia or to Trieste, so you can defend. You can even agree on a bounce in Trieste if you want with Italy. It's very possible. Um, but of course, if Russia does decide to move into Galicia, you are quite exposed because both Vienna and Budapest are empty. So yeah, that's not simple. Mm, Other openings are more anti-Russian. I've seen openings where people open both to Romania and to Galicia. That's very anti-Russian, especially if you agreed on a DMZ, so a demilitarized zone in Galicia. Mm, this is aggressive. Now you can open aggressive as Austria, that is fine. But the fact you have Russia against you and you're very exposed on your western border also makes it tricky because even if Italy was not planning to attack you right away, you should not make it too easy for them either. So if I resolve it, let's say Italy has hold these two armies and of course move this fleet here, and you resolve this, you can immediately see that your home supply centers are sort of looming for Italy to walk into. So some Italian players will not resist the temptation of moving Army Venice to Trieste in the fall. So be careful of that. So to summarize, playing Austria, you need to play a balanced game. You need to make sure you defend all your borders, but at the same time, your diplomacy skills will really be the most important ones. You need to be able to forge alliances early, or at least non-aggression pacts to ensure your survival. And I think your survival is best ensured if you minimum grab 2 builds, which most likely are Serbia and Greece. Thank you for listening and see you next time.